If you're plugged into the world of fantasy right now, you know the genre is, well, it's always primed for the next massive cultural franchise.
Always.
We've got the established legends, Lord of the Rings, the enduring shadow of Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm. Can't escape it.
But what makes this moment so electrifying, I think, is that recent successes, the real sensations like Fourth Wing and Legendborn, they've proven the market isn't just hungry for more fantasy.
No, it's hungry for new fantasy. Different takes.
Exactly.
And the analysts we follow, they're constantly scanning the publishing landscape, looking for that title that doesn't just sell books, but has like real cinematic potential right out of the gate.
Big bets are being made.
Oh, colossal bets on specific narrative trends.
Right. And that's why our deep dive today is really custom built for you listening. You want to quickly understand which 5 upcoming titles are projected to become these cultural phenomena, and maybe more importantly, why.
Yeah, the why is key.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We're diving into the core conflicts, the unique narrative elements, and that timely cultural resonance that these big houses are banking on.
And like you said, we're not just summarizing plot blurbs here. What's really fascinating is trying to understand the formula, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at how these books blend classic, high-stakes fantasy, magic, dragons, serious danger with what's trending now in media and these strong modern character archetypes that audiences are actively looking for.
Okay, so let's kick off with a title that seems to anchor its potential franchise success, like entirely on the strength and, frankly, the sheer ruthlessness of its main character. We're talking about The Lost Reliquary by Lyndsay Ely, first book in the Divine Thrall series. It's set to launch October 21, 2025.
And the central premise, it immediately sets this tone of intense personal struggle. We follow Lys, who's been held captive since she was a child by a powerful goddess, Tempestra Inara.
Right.
Her whole story arc is defined by trying to break these divine bonds. It's very focused.
And the plot gives her this ultimate high-stakes way out, doesn't it?
Yeah, the exit strategy.
Lys is forced to hunt down a group of heretics who tried to murder this goddess, Tempestra Inara.
Per captor.
Exactly. And this quest is Lys's only shot at freedom, but, and this is key, she has to hide her real intentions from her partner the entire time.
Oh, that internal conflict. Yeah, that's gold.
It's fascinating, right?
And the industry buzz we reviewed, it specifically highlights that key franchise element. A protagonist defined by personal defiance and a willingness to be morally gray.
Or just outright ruthless.
Yeah, to get free.
Yeah.
The comparison they're drawing in the marketing is really effective. Furiosa from Mad Max.
Wow.
That immediately signals a gritty survivalist kind of tone. It sets it apart from maybe more traditional Chosen One stories.
That is a powerful image. A protagonist willing to, burn the world down just to escape her divine captor.
Pretty much. And the stakes are genuinely apocalyptic. She could potentially save the last god. Or, in trying to escape, she could just cause the world to fall into complete chaos.
High risk, high reward. Definitely.
So if you look at this title as a foundation, it's all about the individual breaking an oppressive bond. Even if that bond is, godly. Intense personal power dynamics.
Okay, now, that focus on breaking power, it actually transitions pretty smoothly to our next title, but the scale immediately shifts.
Right.
While Lys's fight is super personal against a divine power, our next contender tackles rebellion on a massive societal scale. Let's look at To Bargain with Mortals by R.A. Basu. That's out October 28th, 2025.
Yeah, this is the first in the Reckoning Storm duology, and it grounds its fantasy really heavily in politics and social hierarchies.
Okay.
We follow Poppy, and her conflict comes from the fact that she just doesn't fit the strict societal mold. She's the adopted daughter of color of a viceroy.
So she's an outsider within the system?
Exactly, constantly struggling against the expectations put on her.
And her story kicks off when she actively flees. An arranged marriage?
Yeah, the marriage plans of her intended. She runs and ends up in this uneasy alliance with a known criminal who needs her unique diplomatic skills, apparently, to negotiate his brother's release from some dire situation.
So politics and crime colliding.
Right. And the analysis we saw points to this book capitalizing on the audience's appetite for revolutionary stories. Stories rooted in social justice, real-world political complexities, that kind of thing.
Makes sense.
It's a classic fantasy structure. You get the action, the magic, those essential godly bargains, but it's layered with themes of allegiance, identity, and this real desire to overthrow an established unjust system.
It asks that question.
Yeah, can these two outcasts actually spark a revolution? It's hitting those contemporary notes that, translate immediately into widespread relevance.
Okay, here's where the publishing strategy gets, I think, really savvy. Because the next couple of titles, they lean into blending unexpected genres with incredibly specific, timely media trends.
Right, the mashups.
Which kind of reduces the barrier to entry for new readers, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about We Who Will Die by Stacia Stark. That's set for December 30, 2025.
The mashup here is, it's so specific, it feels almost commercially engineered, but in a brilliant way. A Roman-inspired world mixed with ancient vampires.
Okay, wait. Roman-inspired world with vampires?
Yep. Start of the Empire of Blood series.
That sounds like something cooked up in like a fan fiction fever dream. Why do the sources think this specific, maybe slightly outlandish blend is going to hit as a franchise, especially when we've seen vampire stories kind of fizzle recently?
Well, it's about timing, right? Perfect commercial synergy. The protagonist, Arvel, her mission is to kill the Emperor.
Standard stuff.
Except the Emperor happens to be an ancient, powerful vampire.
Ah, okay. Twist.
And to get close, she's forced to work with two people she totally despises, her ex.
Ooh, awkward.
And making things even more complicated, the Emperor's son.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you get the betrayal. The classic enemies to lovers trope is probably in there.
Precisely. And the setting is crucial. Arvel has to fight in these brutal gladiator-style games to secure a position near the Emperor.
Gladiator games, right.
So this title is capitalizing on two huge converging trends. First, the massive resurgence in vampire media. We're seeing huge critical buzz for shows like Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah, that's everywhere.
And all the anticipation around movies like Sinners and Nosferatu. The thirst for vampires is definitely back.
Okay, trend one, vampires are hot again. What's trend two?
The Roman element. It pulls from a separate but equally strong media vein right now.
How so?
Well, the analysts noted the return of that popular Sam Raimi series Spartacus.
Oh, yeah.
And the, decent box office success of Gladiator II.
Right.
So by combining the grit and spectacle of Roman history with the primal sexy horror of vampires,
They're hoping for.
the publishing house is clearly banking on the Gladiator synergy meeting the Twilight sensibility, just, maybe on a much darker scale.
It's a calculated risk.
High potential payoff, though.
I can see the logic in that marketing calculation. Okay, love move across the map now. And out to sea with Saltswept by Katalina Watt, arriving February 5, 2026. First in a duology, and it's a pirate story.
Yeah, another great example of blending something familiar with a unique flavor. It's a swashbuckling adventure.
Love a good swashbuckler.
Featuring a pretty inexperienced crew trying to navigate treacherous waters. Specifically, sailing into a magical whirlpool.
Okay, that's ambitious.
Their goal is genuinely world-saving. Keep the dead where they belong. Stop the undead rising, basically.
And there's a political angle, too. Something about the queen. The source material hinted she might not be quite what she seems.
That potential unrighteousness, as they put it, seems to be the core moral conflict. What makes this a strong franchise candidate, though, is partly that it's rooted in South Asian mythology.
Oh, interesting.
It provides a unique cultural foundation, really enriches the world building, and we've seen audiences are eager for that kind of diverse fantasy foundation, like with Legend-Born's success.
And on the trend side, well, pirates are definitely having a moment on screen.
Absolutely. Swashbuckling content is highly bankable right now. The success of the One Piece adaptation is a huge factor there.
Good point.
But let's go back to the Queen for a second. The source explicitly mentions her story journey is reminiscent of, get this, Season 8, Daenerys Targaryen.
Oh, okay.
Just loaded.
It's a fascinating comparison, right? Because it plays on the audience's emotional investment in that kind of tragic moral decline.
Yeah.
It signals this queen isn't just a simple villain.
No, she's complex, potentially devastating choices ahead.
It gives us a high level of narrative sophistication.
So it promises maybe the epic scale of Pirates of the Caribbean, but mixed with that moral ambiguity that audiences, well, they loved and maybe grieved in the final seasons of Thrones.
That's a potent hook, yeah.
All right, so we've covered personal rebellion, political revolution, and these mashups of vampires, pirates, Rome. Our final contender, The Gravewood by Kelly Andrew, shifts us firmly into dystopian territory.
But with a major thematic twist, apparently. This one lands April 7th, 2026.
Yeah, this title, it's the start of a duology, and it combines the dystopian comeback we're seeing
Which is definitely happening.
with the ongoing vampire resurgence. So another blend. It takes place in a town isolated by this protective Gravewood forest, keeping them cut off from a desolate outside world.
Okay, isolated community. And the protagonist is Shay Parker.
Yep. And the stakes for her are intensely, viscerally personal. She's desperately running out of batteries for her hearing aid,
Oh, wow. Okay, that's specific and immediate.
which forces her into this dark deal with the only person who can actually help her.
Which is?
She trades her own blood for batteries with the leader of a vampire gang living beyond the forest line.
Trading blood for batteries. That's grim.
Very. And the delicate balance she's maintaining just collapses when her best friend disappears,
Yeah.
forcing Shay to confront the world she's been desperately trying to just survive in.
We know dystopian fiction is back, new Hunger Games books, films, but traditionally, those heroes fought a specific regulated system, right? A totalitarian government,
Yeah.
faction-based societies. So why does the source suggest the Gravewood is poised to be the next big thing? What's the thematic shift here that makes it different?
This is the crucial insight from the analysis we reviewed. The sources observed that this story moves away from those classic technology-focused or societal division dystopias of the early 2010s.
Okay.
The Gravewood instead signals a clear commercial shift in the genre towards post-climate apocalypses.
So traditionally, the heroes fought the system. Now maybe they're fighting the effects of what the system did to the planet.
That's exactly it. The analysts believe publishers are purposefully avoiding that maybe oversaturated YA market of faction-based dystopias. They're aiming instead for a more adult, globally relevant anxiety. The focus shifts from the abstract idea of tyranny to the immediate visceral scarcity caused by environmental collapse.
Which feels very current.
Extremely. Given the global focus on climate change right now, this thematic focus on societal decay and survival in a ravaged world, it's expected to capture universal attention, to resonate deeply with modern readers in a way the earlier dystopias might not anymore.
The stakes aren't just political.
They're existential. Survival itself. Hashtag tag synthesis and final thought.
Okay, so what does this all mean then? If we look across all 5 of these titles, The Lost Reliquary, To Bargain with Mortals, We Who Will Die, Saltswept, and The Gravewood, we see, well, I see 3 extremely clear common threads. Stuff defining what the industry is betting on for the next wave of fantasy franchises.
Yeah, definitely patterns emerge. The first thread is undeniably the protagonist.
Right.
The market clearly demands strong, active, and often morally complex female leads, whether it's Lisa's ruthless pragmatism or Poppy's political defiance.
Or Arvel fighting vampires, or Shay trading blood.
Exactly. The power dynamic is centered on a woman taking control of her own destiny, often at great personal cost.
Okay, thread 1. Strong, complex female leads. Thread 2 seems to be the scope.
The scope, the high fantasy elements, the magic, the gods, the creatures, they're now consistently blended with pressing, immediate political and social issues.
Yeah, we're seeing revolution against tyranny.
Fighting for identity within a rigid hierarchy.
And survival in a post-climate reality?
These are high magic worlds, absolutely, but the underlying conflict feels immediately relevant to our current anxieties.
Got it. And the third thread may be the most strategic one.
It's that consistent use of timely, maybe even nostalgic cultural touchstones.
Roman history.
Swashbuckling pirates.
And especially that rejuvenated vampire trope.
Yeah. And these seem to be used to reduce the entry barrier for new readers. They offer something familiar, the grit of a gladiator, the romance of a pirate, but wrapped in an exciting high-concept new package.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, the sources seem to reveal that the formula for a massive franchise right now, it isn't just about crafting a big, sprawling world anymore.
No, maybe not primarily. It seems to be about delivering a highly specific, high-stakes premise that successfully remixes established media properties,
Like Gladiator or Pirates.
while tackling contemporary global anxieties head-on. Whether those are anxieties about tyranny, identity, or, like we just discussed, climate collapse.
That makes a lot of sense.
Which raises an important question for you, the listener, as you wait for these releases.
Yeah, think about this as you consider these titles. If a fantasy franchise is only as strong as its villains, which of these 5 stories has the highest potential antagonist? Is it the tyrannical goddess Tempestra Inara? The ancient vampire emperor? Or maybe that potentially unrighteous queen in the High Seas Adventure?
Which one has the best shot at creating the next truly memorable, complex antagonist that really defines the series?
Something to mull over.
Definitely. Until our next deep dive.